Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on the test account, and that is right. When in doubt, just give the player some more loot. That is correct, guys. If you guys remember, guys, about 3 years ago, the Frosty IO came up, and it was the first iteration that we ever seen of this real flip game. So you choose what loot you want out of here, which I absolutely love because you have the ability to pick what you want to get. Baits, big priority, red chests out of there. And then even looking here, I would go Twisted Essence, possibly Shards. But ultimately shards or poke coins would be my solid choice in there. Now this one, of course, you can go ahead, you can mix this up. Now this ties perfectly into the holiday event. So essentially key acquisitions, it's usually out of daily chests, which again, it does remain the exact same here. So going through, doing your dailies on a regular basis is going to yield you keys. The exact same thing we kind of seen with the Magician's Hat, but a little bit different with how the event works itself. But you are getting the exact same rewards from the same essential place. Because during the Magician's Hat event, when you came through here, you actually got your rewards. This is where you pulled all of your tricks that you could actually go in there. So this is giving us our keys. As you can see, going through finishing these out is going to allow us within the Frosty Isle to flip these cards based on our keys. So we have 12. And again, we've had quite a few of these. Now this, of course, we want to look at the loot in just a minute. Now, one thing to note, and I want to mention this, guys, and I want to make sure that you guys do understand this, is when you get to floor 10 is going to give you the special loot, which we'll look at in just a minute within the rewards list. But just like normal, floor 10 is going to give you some special loot. You can see we have no more keys. Or they might not actually have a floor 10 if it's going to, there it is. So floor 1 through 9. So this, again, is what we want to explain, and you got to take note, guys. You have to remember floor 1 through 9. When the portal opens, you can go to the next floor. 1 through 9 is what you want to do this, because essentially you are trying to get to floor reward 10. This is where all of the best loot is contained, including right there with your Stargazer scrolls. You can see we have some cores. Floor 10 is where you want to get to. I repeat, that is where you want to get to. When you get to floor 10, you are going to pull all 3 treasures. That is right. You are going to use more keys on floor 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, however many floors you get to. But when you get to floor 10 and only floor 10, you are going to get all 3 pieces of loot out of there before going to floor 11. A lot of players, and I get this every single time we've done this, in a bunch of different game modes, they say, I wish I knew before I used all my keys. So this is your PSA, guys. Make sure you go in there and make sure on floor 10 that you're going through and you are pulling all of the rewards. When it comes to selecting all of the rewards for floor 10, you're going to pick all 3 of them. Now, Frosty festivities, this is one of the exchange. Now, last event we just did with the Magician's Hat, I chose all baits. So I went all in for baits. And honestly, guys, if you're not at Beast Resonance 9, if you're not at Beast Resonance 12, I would go 100% all in for baits. Looking here, we have red chests, which are always one of the fan favorites. Down here, we do have the cores. Now, one thing to note is right here, guys. So they are starting to add these legendary bizarre totem card. Now you receive a random bizarre totem. Overall, guys, I probably wouldn't choose this for the simple fact that it is random. You could get some of the legendary totems that you already have. And again, the RNG factor that comes with this game mode as it sits today is pretty tough, again, with that RNG aspect. And I wonder if they have the staffs in here, because I know that they were talking. So that is the legendary totems, but I thought they might have had the staffs in here, which unfortunately they do not, but they have totems. Look at the cost, guys. It is 120 of your orchids to pick that up. So even looking here, what, 4, 8, 12, I could get 150 baits versus 1 random totem card. Absolutely, guys. I personally, I would not choose the totem card because you're using your wands to actually pick those out. Now, looking at our heroes, same heroes, guys. They did this again in the last one. Looking at here, getting the twins would be really your only option. Khazard possibly if he's not at Mythic. But overall, both of these heroes, when you look at the rest of these heroes, there's not a reason to get them. So when you look at Titus, when you look here at a Mizoth, there's not a reason anywhere to really get them. They are older heroes that are not used anywhere. Even looking at Khazard, guys, utility for Khazard, not super high anymore, but he still does have that plus 30 signature item. The twins still seeing a ton of utility in an incredible amount of game modes. Twin would be a solid choice. But overall, in my opinion, guys, go in here, pick up some baits, pick up some cores, pick up some red chests. The heroes I am not too impressed with, especially because we do have the ability to get the twins out of the Nightmare Corridor store. So essentially buying them out of there would probably be a lot more beneficial than it would be utilizing your resources in here, just because of the rest of the resources in that game mode you're not going to be using. And I'll show you what I mean right here. So looking at the store and looking at our dream store, you do have the opportunity again to get the twins out of here. Every iteration of this, as long as you're maximizing the rewards you're getting out of the Nightmare Corridor, as long as you're doing the challenges that are in there, you can get a copy of the twins every single iteration of the Nightmare Corridor, meaning essentially you're going to be building up a lot of copies of the twins, even if you're not doing a straight summon for them. Now, also remember, guys, that the tier list did kind of change, which putting Demia in there, putting Liberta in there, putting Lucilla in there. A lot of heroes have really moved the priority and moved the needle. But again, I really wouldn't recommend getting the twins out of here just for the sheer cost that you're going to be losing with the rest of the resources out of there. I'm choosing the baits. I am going all in for baits, guys. On the YouTube account, we're making a lot of progression. Even looking over at the free-to-play account, I've actually either... Cores are always usually a good one, but red chests are always a pretty solid one as well. And then, of course, you couple that with the Mystic Star Zone, guys. So getting a lot more loot out of this game mode. This is actually going to be up tomorrow with the new refreshed and remade. And you can see, guys, we have a lot more chests that we're going to be pulling out of here. Even extra right here, preview chests out of there. And then, of course, every single one through 4 are going to get chests in addition. They've added, again, a few chests kind of here and there when you're going through the personal, when you're going through the militia, to make this a lot easier. And then, of course, the extension for the duration of all of these meteorites and all of the farming in there. Going to make a big difference, guys. We also do have a lot more that is coming down the pipeline. You can see the Poetic Pop quizzes right there. And there is a lot going on with AFK Arena right now. So pretty cool, guys. Overall with the event, let me know what you guys think of it. Now, Frosty IO, like I was saying, you get a ton of loot out of here. You combine the Frosty IO with the Mystic Star Zone, with what you're getting out of the Treasure Scramble, with what you're getting pretty much from every other game mode. You get a lot out of here. You get the ability to actually just stockade resources at this point. I know there's a lot of heroes to build. And I know, again, the red chest, the cores, everything to really build out those heroes, as well as baits for the beasts. And then, of course, those totem cards in there. But guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on the Frosty Isle. Again, for me personally, I remember when they released this event and how cool it was to go in here. Most of the time going through this game mode, we get about 35 floors. I think it's roughly about 35 floors as free to play. Not putting anything into this, but you do get a lot of loot. You're essentially getting 35 floors of loot, plus those triple loots on the 10, 20s, and 30s, which is going to yield you, again, a lot more loot. So again, guys, that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.